Welcome back, and I hope you're doing well. We've done a lot with Google Spreadsheets, and we've got more to do. As you can see, I've pulled up a new page, and I want to show you a few things. We've got some new words for our word bank. So first, what I want to do is if I click in this box here, that highlights my whole spreadsheet that I'm working on. And that can be really helpful. It makes it a lot faster than trying to drag and just select everything when I can do it just with that one click. The other thing is that I can come up here and I want to change the font size. I want to make it a little easier on my eyes to see. There we go. That pulled that up better. And then I want to go through here. I'm going to highlight those. I want to go back to my borders. I'm going to add a quick border. And then I'm going to go over here to the background fill color. And we're going to make it a bright yellow again. Oops. Again, I clicked over here and it messed me up. So I can do Control Z. Now I can come back over here, highlight that, and go back to the fill color. And now my new words are there. Now, again, I don't want you to just put the words here in the spreadsheet. You should also have the words and the definition in your word bank. So take a moment, pause the video, write these down, look up the definition, and then come back and we'll get started here. Thank you for coming back. There's so much of information, and some of it is just amazing, but some of it you may not be able to relate to at this point. You may go, well, I don't need that. You may not need that now, but in a year, 2 years, 5 years, things will be different. It may be something that you're going to think, Mr. Johnson, he thought of that, or he mentioned something about that. Well, maybe I need to look that up. And then you could do a search for something to that effect, and then it helps you. It reminds you of what we talked about. And you have to forgive the noise. My dog is somewhat restless, and she likes to be a mess. So all the chatter you hear in the background is from my dog. Okay, first off, let's talk about let's discuss some facts about the Google spreadsheet. For example, the Google spreadsheet cannot be larger than 20 megabytes. Megabytes is the data that you store on your computer, and it is a measurement of what goes in there. The more data you have in there, the bigger the file. So you take a picture, and it may only be 3 megabytes. It may not even be a full megabyte, depending upon the settings on your camera. But you do a video, and it could be 30, 40, 200 megabytes really quick. The 5-minute video I did yesterday, it actually was about 40 megabytes of data. And that was because I used a low quality format to save it. If I used a higher quality format, it could easily be 80 to 200 megabytes. Anyway, my point is, you cannot have a Google spreadsheet that is larger than 20 megabytes. So if you start trying to put pictures here in the Google spreadsheet, it's going to exceed that really quick, and it may give you an error message saying that it's exceeded the allotted size. But what blows your mind is, remember, each one of these is a cell. The Google spreadsheet has to be less than 400,000 cells. Not 400, 400,000. That's a lot of cells that can hold data. And you can have 256 columns. Remember, the columns go across the top, they go up and down. I can have 256 of these. Fascinating thing to notice, well, they're alphabetical. And then on top of that, what happens when I run out of the alphabet? Well, I can still have more columns over here. I can insert them so that instead of just 26, I actually have 256 of those. Pretty impressive. So keep that in mind, some things about that, just some things that I find really fascinating about Google Sheets. We know how to share Google Docs and drawings and other things with Google. You do the same thing here with Google Sheets. You can go up here and share. You can give them different permissions. Make sure you consider that. Do you want to make them where they can go in and edit? Are they a collaborator? Can they make changes? Or do you want them to only be able to view? I can set it up where it's restricted to Temple ISD only. They can view it, or I can make them where they can comment or editor. But I can also go in there, and if I'm on my personal account, I don't see this. I can make it anybody, whether they're with Temple ISD or a close friend. So keep in mind about the sharing and where all that's located. Comment history. This is how you can see when your collaborators are making comments. There goes my other dogs. They're upset tonight, and I'm not sure why. So we always need to come over here and make sure we give it a title. It's really helpful with a title that you can keep track of your data. So I want you to title this Google Sheets Part 2. All right. Let's see what else I can find in here. Column headers and row headers. Now, these are a couple of more words that we should put in our word bank. So add that to your word bank. Make sure you look that up. It's important that you understand what that is. All right. There's so much we can do with this. And let's take a moment and let's look at the menus. I know y'all created that in an assignment earlier this week, but we need to make sure we look at what's in here and understand. Import. You can bring data in from other sources. Sometimes that really saves on time when you're needing to type up, or you don't want to sit there and take a chance of messing up what someone else has done, but you need to work with that data. Make available offline. That's if you're not being able to access the internet, maybe at home, but you still want to work on this spreadsheet. You download it on your computer, make it offline, and then when you go home and you don't have internet, you can still work with it. Add a shortcut to your drive. You can move it around in your Google Drive. That may help you in finding it. Remember, in Google Drive, one of your assignments previously was to create a folder just for tech prep. So now we could move this into tech prep, and that way we don't lose it. Excellent point. Right now, pause your screen. I want you to move this, or pause the video, move this into your tech prep folder and give me a screenshot showing that file name in your tech prep folder. That's one screenshot for this assignment. We can even publish it to the internet. We don't need to do that now, but hopefully we will someday. Edit. Now, this is the undo and the redo. Control Z, you saw me use it just earlier. I find it very fascinating and very helpful. But Control Y will redo it. So if I deleted something I didn't want to delete, I could redo. Cut, copy, paste, find. I love using the find command. It really helps me in finding information instead of me trying to scroll up and down. I can make the computer search for me. Sorry about my dogs. They're upset tonight. Find and replace, delete values, delete row. So I could delete a row or a column. We know about that. I like the freeze. And let me show you this. I'm going to freeze one row, but I'm going to first highlight the row I want to freeze. That helps. So I go View, Freeze, one row. Now notice it's kind of changed the look of it here. I've got that gray line, but watch what happens when I come over here. Oh, I still have my column heading up here, but I can move up and down. This is very helpful with large amounts of data. So you've got these words in your word bank. Go ahead, take a moment, type them here in the spreadsheet, and I want you to be able to sit here and do a screenshot. Now, this is what I'm looking for in your screenshot. I'm looking for row 1, and then, whoops, I should see row 6 below row 1. I should also see this gray line right here. That tells me that you've done the freeze. So let me show you again, and then I'm going to go let my dogs out. All right, there we go. I want to see where it shows row 1, row 6. I also have to see the gray line because you can type in row 1, row 6. I want to see it this way though. So this is a great opportunity for a screenshot. Make sure you send that to me. That's your second screenshot for this assignment. Hope you're doing well. Respect yourself. Respect your family. Respect your family at home. Respect your family here at Bonham Middle School. Let's stay healthy the best we can. Wash your hands. Use the hand sanitizers. But most importantly, wear the mask. You know how it's supposed to be worn. I've got several of you that have gotten very lazy, very careless. And I'm sorry to see that, especially when we have students and staff that are homesick due to that carelessness. If you have questions, let me know. Hope you're doing well. Miss you. Want to see you soon. Take care.